A Hilton Head Island realtor is honored with an award. Homeowners that have lost their homes to foreclosure get a break on financing, and construction begins on an $80 million project. All that and much more. Keep watching. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm Jenny Lockhart, and here are your headlines. The South Carolina Realtors presented the Realtor Advocate Award to Andy Twisdale of Hilton Head Island. This award is given annually to a member who demonstrates an unwavering commitment as an advocate for the real estate industry. Ken Jackson of RE/MAX was named South Carolina Realtors 2013 Realtor of the Year. Jackson plays an impressive juggling act between his career, SCR, community, church, and family involvement. He's a past honoree of SCR's Distinguished Service Award and was named the 2011 Best Realtor in the PD by readers of the Morning News. He's a past recipient of the Order of the Palmetto, the highest civilian honor awarded by the governor for his exceptional, dedicated service to our state. The Island Packet reports homeowners who were laid off and lost their homes to foreclosure could qualify for a new mortgage in as little as a year under an unprecedented federal rule change that slashes the usual waiting period between financial disaster and buying a new house. Normally, homeowners who were foreclosed on must wait 3 years before they can qualify for a loan backed by the Federal Housing Administration. FHA loans require only a 3.5% down payment and have more lenient lending standards than conventional loans, though borrowers do have to carry long-term mortgage insurance. Getting a conventional loan after foreclosure can take up to 7 years. The new changes allow borrowers who meet a set of strict criteria to qualify for an FHA loan only 12 months after losing their house for failure to make payments. CORINNE CLANCY has joined Alliance Group Realty, located in the Fresh Market Shops on Hilton Head Island. Clancy has been a realtor since 1995 and has her broker's license. She also holds designations in accredited buyer's representation, short sale, and foreclosure resource. Clancy specializes in residential, second home, and investment properties. To reach Ms. Clancy, call 843-384-8439 or email corinne@hargray.com. A groundbreaking ceremony marks the official launch of one of downtown Charleston's most ambitious redevelopment projects. The Post and Courier reports the Charleston Midtown project will include a dual-branded Hyatt House and Hyatt Place Hotel, as well as office and retail space. All told, the $80 million project will include 4 new structures and 2 renovated buildings for a total of 433,000 square feet. The developers expect construction to be complete by spring 2015. Weichert Realtors Coastal Properties will host a book signing for local author Jim AULD from 5:30 to 7 on October 3rd at the Weichert Real Estate Office at 2 Rose Hill Way in Bluffton. AULD, who was born and raised in Savannah, will sign copies of his latest book, Bobby T, The Legend of Savannah. The book is the fictional tale of an abandoned young boy growing up in poverty who hitchhikes to Savannah to find his mother. The book is designed to allow readers to see Savannah through the eyes of Bobby T. Complimentary wine and appetizers will be served. For more information, please call 843-341-3700. Dan EKUS recently joined Keller Williams Realty. EKUS is a licensed realtor with more than 30 years of experience in real estate and construction. Keller Williams Realty is located at 8 Lafayette Place, Suite 203 on Hilton Head Island. For more information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see on your screen. Stay with us because after the break, Geri Colucci will be joining us with Equitable Property Management. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Geri Colucci, owner of Equitable Property Management. Welcome, Geri. It's so great to see you again.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So now today we're going to talk about how repair issues are handled for rental properties.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us who reports the repair issues to Equitable and how are they reported?
Well, the repair issues are reported by the tenants. However, when we sign a lease with a tenant, we have them sign 2 forms that specifically talk about repairs. One is called do's and don'ts, and one is called a move out checklist, which they sign when they move in. And it tells them things like make sure you use liquid plumber if your drain's not working, and make sure your batteries are in your smoke detector, and so forth. So when the tenant reports it to us, they have already gone through some checklist about how to handle a repair before they call us.
Okay, so now once it's been reported, how is the repair issue evaluated and handled?
Well, once it's been reported, it can either be reported through our website, which is interactive for the tenant. It can be reported by phone, especially if it's an emergency, or it can be reported by email. And the person that is reported to is our office manager, Liz Panteliano. And then she determines the emergent nature or the non-emergent nature, and then hires a vendor to address the issue.
Okay, so can you give us an idea like what type of repair issues come up and who does the actual repair?
Well, a very common repair issue is a garbage disposal. They get clogged, whether it's with bones or corn husks or whatever. So they'll call Liz, and Liz will give them a couple troubleshooting mechanisms. You know, shut it off, put your hand down, make sure there's nothing clogging it, use the reset button, and try to figure out whether or not we can unclog it. And if we can't, then Liz picks from our list of vendors and decides who's appropriate. And the vendor calls the tenant, and then the tenant makes their own appointment so that no one goes into the tenant's house without their permission to do the repair.
Well, I mean, it's great to have that kind of consideration for their privacy. Now, are the vendors licensed and insured?
They are licensed and insured, and we have a wonderful list of vendors. We give out a lot of business, and so our vendors are very loyal, they're very expeditious. And one of the things they do when they go out to a home is they determine whether the repair is a functional issue or whether it's an issue that is tenant neglect or misuse. And they know that when they're going out to the house.
Okay, now, so once the repair has been completed, everybody's happy, how do the
Right.
vendors get paid? Do the tenant pay, or do you
Well,
pay?
it depends. The vendor, we like for the tenant to be there with the vendor, so the vendor can then say to the tenant, hey, I found a bottle cap in the garbage disposal, I found a compact mirror in the toilet. So the tenant will know that it was misuse, and then they're responsible to pay.
Okay.
However, if it's a functional issue, then the owner pays. And what we do is we collect the owner's rent, and they have given us permission by the management contract to go ahead and pay the vendors. We'd like to get our vendors paid in 30 days.
Okay. And so that just depends on who caused the problem, right?
Right, exactly.
Now, who's responsible in your office? You said there's a particular contact person, right, for your tenants to contact
Right.
that handles the repairs?
Our office manager, Liz Panteliano, she handles all the repairs, and then when the repair is done, she approves it and then approves the invoice when it comes in, and she gives it to Lee Jones, who is our bookkeeper, and then that bill will get paid once a month. So if a vendor does a repair in September, it'll get paid in October. In October, it'll get paid in November, and all of our vendors know this in advance before they do work for us.
Okay. Now, it must give the tenants a good peace of mind to have a contact person they can get in touch with, you know, for any type of issue like this.
It is, and on our answering machine on weekends, because we're not open on Saturday and Sunday other than for emergencies, there is a contact number right on our answering machine phone to give Liz a call if it happens to be an emergency. And we're very expeditious about getting our repairs done. It's important for the integrity of the house, for the owner, and for the comfort of the tenant. So they know they can always reach us.
Well, and I think that's something that sets you apart, wouldn't you say? Is you know, we joke, you and I personally have joked about, you know, OCD type personalities,
Right.
but really it's just that attention to detail and the fact that you always keep, you know, both, you know, what's best for your owner and the comfort of your tenant in mind.
One thing we never forget is that although it's an investment property for an owner, it is a personal residence, a home for a tenant. And we want them to be as comfortable as possible and know that they can depend on us if they have an issue.
Well, and I think, you know, as you and I have joked about before, you know, if I'm an owner and someone's taking care of my property, you know, I definitely want someone with your type of personality looking out for me. And I would say a flip side too for the tenant, right? Because if I'm a tenant, you know, I want someone who's responsive. I want someone that cares that my garbage disposal is clogged and that affects my quality of life, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard when you have to tell a tenant, I'm so sorry you have to pay for this invoice.
Right.
But we need to be fair to the owners and the tenants.
No, I think that's great. Well, Geri, as always, we really appreciate all your great information, and you have a very lucky group of tenants and owners.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be back.
Well, thanks for being here, and stay with us. After the break, Sheri Nixon with Keller Williams Realty will be joining us. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Sheri Nixon from Keller Williams Realty. Welcome, Sheri.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so happy to see you again. So we talk a lot about lifestyle when you're here, and I think one of the things when people come and vacation here, they eventually want to live here. So I'm sure as being one of the top realtors in this area for so long, you've helped lots of clients kind of make that decision between whether to continue to vacation or to move down here. What kind of advice do you give them?
Well, I guess if they were going to decide if they're going to move here or become a second homeowner, I would say if you become a primary resident, you will have very low taxes. You'll be happy about that.
Well, and in addition to the low taxes, what are some other decisions that, they're going to benefit from having lower taxes, but they also have to decide other things to change their lives and move down here. So what advice do you give them about that?
Well, I guess if I think personally, some of the things that I struggled with, 17 years ago when I decided to move here and making the decision if I was going to, I put my house in Denver on the rental market, fully furnished, trying to decide if I was going to move here or not. I guess one of the big decisions that I had to make was about my extended family and leaving them. That was just a hard thing, and I find my clients really struggle with that. They may have their family up north and they think, oh, I can't leave them. And the funny thing is, I think they discover my advice is that family, it's such a great place to be, they're going to come and visit. In fact, I've got my parents here right now, so they come and visit all the time. My sisters, you will find that you think you're going to leave your family, but the family's going to come here and you may never get them to leave your house. So it's kind of different. That's one of the things they struggle with. I find that I can give them advice that's really not a worry in the long run.
Now, once they do move here, let's say someone does decide to make this their home, what do you think is the biggest surprise for people once they actually do move down here?
It's funny because Hilton Head Island is known as the world-class vacation destination that it is. We have these amazing golf courses and tennis courts with our beautiful landscaping. We have such a lush, natural setting. I think people don't realize that behind that there is this community of caring, thoughtful people that really spend every day making this community an amazing place to live. So I think the surprise is that it's not just a vacation destination, it's a place that people want to live, and people do live here, and there's an amazing community here. So that, I guess, is the biggest surprise.
Now, as their realtor, how do you assist them with the decision making and also the transition for moving here?
Well, I find that I'm really blessed with that because it's really, as a realtor, you want a realtor who knows the market, and I do study the market every day. So you want someone who knows the market, but it is not just about the market in real estate, it is about the relationship. And as a realtor, you need someone that you can develop a relationship with that can really help you disseminate into the community. And so that's really important, to find someone who knows the community. I have children that have grown up here, they've been in the plays. In fact, my youngest daughter is in the Main Street play right now. They've been in the Island Rec Center. They have done all those things, so I know the community. And what's interesting and great about this community is it's not just the activities you might have in a town up north. You find that there are ways that people can really connect. For example, I love to introduce people by having them all meet at the beach at sunset. Something like that. That's the thing that as a realtor I can do. Introduce one couple to the other couple. Someone from Pittsburgh might know another person from there, and just getting them to know each other is something that I feel blessed, and I love to do that every day. So that's a great thing.
Well, and also, I mean, there's so much to moving to a new place, and for a lot of people, especially people that move, maybe from a very urban area, it's quite a change. So, I'm sure can they rely on you for other tips as far as what schools you recommend, or where to get a good haircut or a great cup of coffee, or.
Absolutely, I do that all the time. I am constantly introducing my clients to the vendors that I use, and that is an important thing, to find someone who, like I say, knows the people that knows other people. So that's an important part of being a realtor. You've got to know the market and you have to know the community. So I find my clients do that.
And I think too, it helps with the transition, you know, for them being happy here to have connections and making friends and kind of finding their way too. So it sounds like your clients are in excellent hands. And so for all of our viewers watching at home, when they want to contact you to go see some of your fabulous listings, how can they reach you?
They can call me. I've got the numbers listed here, 843-301-2688, or you can email me or send me a message on my website.
Well, we really appreciate your time, Sheri. As always, you have so much great information, and it was a treat to get to meet your parents today as well. So
thank you. Yes, thanks so much.
And thanks so much. We'll be back just after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Leo Slattery with Galaxy Construction. Welcome, Leo.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit today about storm restoration, and we wanted to kind of get started with, you know, with Galaxy Construction. Can you give us some idea of what makes Galaxy different from other construction companies?
Absolutely. The primary difference for us is that our object is to bring awareness to the homeowners in the area in Hilton Head, as well as in the Bluffton, Sun City, and as far as Port Royal, to allow them to know that there's been extensive storm damage over the last several years that we're finding many homeowners are not aware of.
Okay, and so why is it important for homeowners to have a thorough inspection, you know, by a trained professional, and especially now that we're going into another storm season?
Yeah, very important to have that inspection done. Again, coming back to the awareness, because it's possible that there's been damage to their home that they don't know about. And as storm season ramps up and coming into the heart of hurricane season, there's the potential for leaks as those storms move in, and for there to be further damages to their home if they don't address those in a timely manner.
And so what happens, you know, if the damage isn't identified and repaired?
Whenever there's storm damage to a home, in particular hail damage, when a hailstone impacts an asphalt shingle, it's going to cause damage to that shingle, fracturing the fiberglass mat underneath. And over time, through the heating and cooling process, that could be hundreds of holes on a roof with minor leaks, slow leaking into the home, which could just make for a lot worse damage inside the home, including the potential for mold damage, which of course we don't want.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mold is bad. Right?
Yeah.
So now, I understand you offer a free 25-point inspection. So can you give us an idea of what someone can expect from that inspection?
Absolutely. That inspection is going to have a person come out, one of our professionally trained project managers. They're going to do an inspection beginning at the ground and going onto the roof, identifying any potential for any further damage to their home, what may have happened previously in some of the storms that have come through the area. We're going to photograph that damage if it does exist, and if not, the nice thing is a homeowner can have peace of mind in knowing that there isn't any problem with the exterior of their home, which we'll be more than happy to share with them as well.
Okay. Now, as far as, you know, obviously with storm damage, you're bringing up the subject of insurance claims. So are there time limits to when you can make an insurance claim?
Yes, there certainly are time limits to that insurance claim, and it does vary from company to company. The important thing for a homeowner to remember when it comes to the time frame of the insurance claim is that they are the ones responsible to do their due diligence. And unfortunately in this area, as we know, not everybody's home all the time. There's some seasonal folks that weren't around for those storms, and so they're still going to be held liable for any of those damages. If any further interior leaks were to happen, the insurance company is not going to pay for those. So the time frame is really now more than anything else.
Well, and I would think too, and you know, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have existing damage that you're not aware of, and then let's say you have a new claim, right, from a storm that happens in the near future, there might be a snag with the insurance company, right, from the pre-existing. I mean, obviously you can tell something that, can you tell the difference between a new hail damage and old hail damage?
In theory, you can. It is difficult to put a time frame on the damage, but there are certain indicators that do identify the time frame of that damage. But if the homeowners did not do their due diligence in filing that claim in a timely manner, then any of those further damages are unfortunately going to be their responsibility.
Sure. Well, and I mean, I would imagine as well that, you know, if you have existing damage you're not aware of, then if a new storm comes along, your house is more vulnerable, right, than if you'd had the repaired in a timely manner the first time.
Precisely. And that's with being in the heart of hurricane season. When we install our roofing system, they're going to be protected for up to 130 mile-an-hour wind rating, which is going to be sustainable through even the majority of hurricanes and harsh or thunderstorms that come through.
Well, that's amazing. Now, and I know one of your claim to fames is service. So can you just give us an idea of what kind of service someone can expect working with Galaxy?
Absolutely. First of all, we are a licensed, insured, bonded general contractor, so we do have the ability to perform all phases of construction. We do specialize in the insurance restoration process, as we previously said. On the roofing side of things, we are a certified masterly contractor with GAF. GAF happens to be the largest manufacturer of roofing supplies in North America, an over 100-year-old company. That Master Elite status, they only give to the top 3% of their contractors in the nation. So that's something we're very proud of. In order to retain that status, we have to adhere to very strict standards in terms of how we install our roofing system. So that's just one of the things that we're quite proud of.
Well, great. Now, everyone that wants to run to the phone to get their roofs checked, how can they get in touch with you?
They can go to the website, which is at www.galaxyconstruction.us. They can call us on our phone number, which is 843-473-4995.
And perfect. Well, listen, thank you so much, Leo, for your time today, and very timely information given that we are in hurricane season, so we appreciate the help and advice. So thanks for being here, and thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm Jenny Lockhart.